All right, everyone. It is December 10th at 1:11 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are here with Albert Well for This Week in Cybersecurity.
And I just told Dan, we are the Men in Black.
Indeed.
So here we are. Thanks for joining, Dan. I always enjoy this session that we have every week. And from what I understand, you're learning a lot from it, aren't you?
Certainly. Yeah, I'm learning more than I could ever imagine. I didn't know there was this much to work on with cybersecurity.
See, that's the issue. A lot of the things that go on in cyber are the unseen.
Yep, totally.
So let me start sharing my screen. Hold on. Host tools, share screen.
I think I actually sent you some news articles this week, Albert. Did you see those yet?
I did. I liked them. It's
Nice.
awesome. Hold on. Here we go. I'm going to share this window. There we go. So, first things first, Deloitte. You wouldn't expect a big four accounting firm and consulting company to come up with responses from the Brain Cipher ransom group. They said they stole a terabyte of information from the company.
Wow. What did they steal?
Oh, jeez. Hackers are threatening to make stolen files available in 5 days. We're aware of the claims. You know, so Deloitte talks to many different organizations, some in healthcare, some in government, some in municipalities, some in just regular corporations. What did they steal? My crystal ball's fuzzy right now, but if you ask again later, I might be able to tell you.
What is it?
What is what?
They stole the customer data or they
Yeah,
stole.
they stole customer data,
Oh, wow.
sensitive information.
Wow.
Oh, BrainCipher's been around since April 2024, but it became known in June and it targeted the Indonesian data center and caused significant disruption to the government and other critical services in the country. So,
Wow.
an Indonesian data center. Could that be like the cloud?
Yeah. Why
Where
is
is
the
your cloud?
right? Why is Deloitte using Indonesian data center?
Well, stop right there. I don't want to get anything going on here. I'm reporting the facts as I see it. I don't know if Deloitte is using an Indonesian data center, but the Brain Cipher group is. Are the
Mm,
two related? I don't know.
yeah, right. Oh
This is
boy.
particularly interesting. North Korea, $50 million on Radiant capital heist. That's a lot of money to go away from, a capital investment organization, right?
What did they steal? Let's see.
$50 million
What's his 50 million
assets.
in assets?
It could
So
be.
it could be 50 million in intellectual property. What did they steal? Let's see. Signed fraudulent transactions. Okay, so they,
Drew funds from user accounts. So I'd say it's money.
yeah, yep, I would say so too.
Do you
So,
think that would be even faster if we go to a digital currency?
possibly. I mean, I don't know. How did they do it? Let's see.
How did they do it?
Yeah, I want to see how they did it.
They never talk about how they did it. Radiant published a postmortem explaining hackers deceived the Safe Wallet verification. Safe Wallet seems to indicate digital currency, which displayed legitimate transactions while fraudulent ones were being performed in the background. So, if you're looking at your digital wallet and it says you have $50 million, but at the same time, the hackers are in the background and they're proxied through your device, they can share whatever they want on your screen,
Right.
including that they're not there.
Yep.
This is the problem with trying to ask computers if they've been infected. If you don't have control of that computer anymore, how will it know?
Who knows?
Okay. This week, I picked on Security Week. Normally, it's the hacker news, and bank information security is just as good. I get tidbits from all over the globe. Here's one from Open WRT wireless router. That's what WRT stands for.
Mm.
So they put this software on access points. Could be a Cisco device, could be a Netlink device, anything that has capability to have an access point to it, so that they can extend not only the parameters for the device, but they can increase the power outage on the radios and so forth. Change the encryption keys, whatever you want to do. So WRT is providing Linux-based operating system. The fact that it's an open platform scares me. Open platform seems to indicate open source. And yes, I know Open WRT is open source because I've used it in the past before we had this wild scare of open source programmers.
Well,
Let's
isn't open source like a good thing though for the general development community? Like if I was building a simple website, and being able to pull open source code just to build that. I mean, nobody's entering data or anything, right? I mean, isn't that helpful?
Well, I used to think the same thing, Dan. So, smart minds think alike. But what I've learned is that nobody is checking the developers that develop open source software. So, how do you get inside organizations without breaking in? You give them a tool that they want to use, which gives you a back door so that when it turns on, you get a ping that says this device is awake, and now you got the entire organization. Bob's your uncle.
That's sort of like what you were saying about the llama running locally on the Mac, even when the internet's off.
Right. So
So
they
you,
can collect and do whatever the program logic is there to do. And then when the internet comes back up, it'll reconnect to the people that created the back door. Open
Mhm.
source software built the internet.
Right.
SendMail is how everyone communicates, and that was open source software. DNS, domain name services, is how everybody gets an IP address, which is an address like a street address, to host names like its-safe.com has an IP address so that when you connect to that IP address with the web server name, you get the It's Safe security website.
Understood.
Okay,
Give me 1 second. I'm just taking a note.
gladly.
Okay, so
Two main issues: command injection in the image builder. That can't be good. Incorporating make commands without proper sanitization. That means they get to inject code into the code and not have any cleansing of the data. Truncated SHA hash collisions. Again, that's encryption that reduces security for the encryption of either the connection or the traffic going in and out. OpenWRT noted that a tracker needs the ability to submit build requests with crafted package lists. If you're a developer on an open source security or an open source tool, you have that capability. And you have control of what libraries you're going to include, whether they're infected libraries or not. The
So you're saying that,
question is, go ahead.
sorry to cut you off. So you're saying that even if the code itself doesn't necessarily suggest any malice, that in the code it could be pulling from a library that is exploited.
Could be a library that they build the software with, which is not normally used, or it could be a library that it downloads once the software starts so that it can evade detection.
Now, don't you think that AI would be pretty good at like scanning all this code to find this stuff?
No.
I guess because
I
AI is only aware of what humans are aware, and if something's new that we're not
Yeah.
yet aware of, then
So
AI
AI
would.
is built on large language models.
Yep.
Okay. And we can talk about this stuff until the cows come home, but until they start understanding that there are specific tools that they need to use in order to discuss and determine whether or not the software is infected, AI by itself is not going to find this issue.
Right. Humans have to find it first.
Right.
That makes sense. That makes a
What's
lot of
what's the
sense.
number one industry getting attacked right now?
Well, I think it's either healthcare or the financial system, right?
Right on both cases. Yes.
Yeah, because I guess
And I'd have
healthcare,
to agree, it's healthcare's number one.
yep. Because healthcare has a lot of our financial data.
Absolutely. They want to get paid too.
Yep.
Not only that, but they have your insurance information.
Hmm.
And the attackers sell that so other people can get their medical expenses covered.
Hmm.
QNAP. Wow. Here's an interesting one. Release patches for multiple high severity QTS and QUTS hero vulnerabilities disclosed at the Pawn to Own Ireland hacking contest. So, Pawn to Own is a contest that was held in Ireland, and people found these problems, and now QNAP is fixing them. These security defects were identified, and here's the list right here. So they're
Wow.
fixing it right away. High severity license center tracked uh, asset number
Now,
48,863 as a 7.7. It could allow remote attackers to execute arbitrary commands. What were you going to
right.
say, Dan?
I was gonna say, what was I gonna say, Albert? I was gonna say that now, like with this news, right? Like obviously there's black hat and white hat hackers, right?
Yep.
And so, sort of like how I'm trying, an analogy would be how sometimes, fighter pilots will see UFOs, but the UFOs are really just, black ops uh projects that even our own military isn't aware of, right?
Yeah.
So,
Basically,
yeah, so some of these things could be, good guys just testing the systems, correct?
could. No, 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 no.
Never, you don't think?
Not at an event like, what was this event called? Pawn to Own. That's where white hat hackers come and they test tools.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. That was what came to my mind when I was reading about this.
Okay.
The
Let's go
future
here.
future of network security.
So you were asking about AI. Well, AI, I don't think has enough intelligence about what's going on. And an external pen test on an internal network doesn't really seem likely, but I'll tell you what does work.
Well, first off, what's pen testing? Is that
Penetration testing.
that's like what
That's
I was
where
just describing.
you knock on a machine. Hello, is anybody there? And on different ports on that device, different daemons that are used to connect and associate with different activities will answer. Sometimes they're all valid. Sometimes they're not all valid. But you determine what's available there by doing a penetration test. Big
Right.
problem that major organizations face is they don't do a penetration test of the entire inventory in the same year. Sometimes it's broken up a third here, a third here, a third here. And in 3 years, they're going to have covered their inventory. If they have an up to date inventory, some organizations don't know what's inside the network. And what's changed since the last time they tested it? So these tests, in my mind, as feeble as it may be, are antiquated, outdated, and ineffective. If they were so effective, we wouldn't have the number of threats going around on a daily, weekly basis.
Hold on 1 second, Albert.
Yeah.
Sorry, somebody said something to me at the door, and my apologies.
You don't have the on the air sign? I had somebody doing the same thing to me. They
E-
texted me, why is the
Even
dog barking?
even if I did have the on the air sign, like I thought I would think like for instance, my headphones are on the air signs, right? And my dad will just talk to me. And even if I'm on the phone, a phone, like my phone's like this, like I'm ordering food, it doesn't matter to him. Yeah, he's old
Well,
school.
he's special.
Yeah.
He's the important one.
Yeah, totally. But
We
I
all have those in our lives. Don't sweat it. So
totally.
automated internal and external testing, not necessarily a fan. It's not bad to do these things, but the problem is that most of these tests are not done with one thing, which really fails the entire test.
That's the entity between the screen and the chair.
Wow, you're really picking that. That's an advanced subject there. That's called a PEBCAC. Problem exists between keyboard and chair. Yeah, it's the
I have some
human
PEBCAC
factor.
techniques.
What's that? You have a
I
PEBCAC?
I have some techniques for testing PEBCAC.
But pen testing doesn't do any tests of the network with people in it.
Ah, well then that's kind of useless. Yeah, because
Now you're picking up what I'm laying down, my friend.
because without the people, you don't have any problems. The networks would just be just fine. It's the people that are the problems.
Well, the people bring the problems because, well, first of all, not all of their devices are secure.
Right.
We don't exist wholly in a secure facility anymore. We're existing from our homes and other things.
Yeah. Yep, totally. Till we
Just
get it
go
till we
ahead.
get it's safe built into the Wi-Fi's for the carriers.
We could do it through the Wi-Fi's. We can do it through the network and have our own Wi-Fi integrated into the device. Yes. Until we get full coverage, we don't know what's going on inside.
Right.
And testing the network isn't always just the solution because we don't know what's on the user's device. Whether it's a laptop, a tablet, a cell phone, who knows?
Totally.
The last one I'm going to bring up today is Black Basta ransomware. So now they're doing email bombs and using QR codes with social engineering. QR codes are one of my pet peeves. And anyone that's read my first book will see the QR code discussed in hashtag hacked. QR codes are a square object that has some printing inside of it and three
Yeah,
specific points that give reference for the computer that you're sharing it with. But it doesn't give any human identifiable location of where it's going. So who can put up a QR code?
you'd have to trust you'd have to trust the person putting up the QR code. I sometimes think this might be the reason my emails end up in spam more often. I'm not sure if the email servers can recognize QR codes or not, but
Absolutely.
yeah, it was something I was testing, like if when I removed the QR code versus not, if it ended up in spam.
So the main problem is the adversaries find that people that use QR codes to be easily spoofed. Pittsburgh Parking Authority has meters outside where you drive up and you can put in your payment information and you can actually log in with your smartphone. This is really not that smart, guys, so don't do this. That has a QR code on it. And what's been tested is the QR codes have been replaced by stickers from an adversary, which creates a similar site to the one that you're trying to get to, and they record your payment information.
Oh, they replaced them that way.
Yeah. So they'll intercept, collect your payment information. Maybe they'll pass it along so you get a fair parking ticket. But now they can use your payment data to do anything they want. And you have no idea that you've been compromised.
Wow.
No pen test will ever find that.
Wow. That's
Your
something
mind
else.
blown now?
Yeah, I'm still gonna keep my QR code because
You
it
can
looks good.
have it. That's fine. I'm not going to click on it because I got you here live and in person.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you on speed dial. I don't need to have it. And people that know Dan, trust Dan. Dan is a very trustworthy person. And if he wants to pull out QR codes, maybe he's actually tracking who's using the QR code to see if he needs to talk to them about better cybersecurity.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Genius.
when we set up my cybersecurity email, we'll definitely have a lot of people to talk to about cybersecurity.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
we're doing that later today.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's my rundown for the week. Um, I try to limit one mind-blowing experience per week. Did I reach that goal?
I
'Cause I
think so,
think this
Albert.
last one with the QR code really blew your mind, right?
Yeah, mind blowing. No, I think the Deloitte one was pretty good. These are always interesting to see.
Well, they
Um,
bring up different varieties of problems that people may not be aware of.
totally right. Yeah, yeah, no, it's every news article every week. It's just that I go throughout my week and I realize all these things I never thought about
Your
before.
eyes are now open. You can't shut them.
Totally. Yeah, I got my
Can't
magic glasses
unlearn
on.
this, Dan. Now
No,
that you
sir.
know.
No, sir. Awesome. Well, hey, Albert, this was really good. Thanks everybody if you made it this far or watching this clip. And we'll see you next week for next week's cybersecurity news with Sir Well.
And the men in black.
The Men in Black. Signing out, Albert.
See you.
Ciao.